Uh, Here we go. So, do you guys remember what happened last time? I remember you came to the city of um, Orviv, and you learned that it was abandoned, or not abandoned. It seems like this once holy city is empty. It's only has a few people now, and as you're looking around, it doesn't seem like there are really that many clerics or even like religious figures here. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of almost a ghost town. Uh, what else did you guys do? Oh, you found the song. Oh, nice. You found a oh my god, what is it called? A, an early church for the Order of Curiel. You found you as you looked through. You saw some. Sorry, Order of Curiel soccer. And you saw like this church called describing themselves as the Brethren of Timeless Night, and it seems like they were shooed out of the area over 20 years ago. And as you were looking through, you found evidence that there were people who had gone missing or were never quite connected with their families again. And as you're looking through, you see a few addresses, all listed in Orviv. And you realize that people are, there are people who are missing. And there are people who you might be able to talk to about this. Then, I guess not really on a whim, but Brennick wants to follow this song that he hears that reminds him of his mother. And you met up with a band called the Might Weavers, but in common, the Myth Weavers. And you met a bard by the name of Oslog, who seems to be some sort of like magic user, though she doesn't really travel anymore, or not travel. She doesn't really adventure anymore. She's like put her life on the line, and she played a song for you, and the rest of you. This is the first time you've ever heard this song, but Brennick, you're hearing it both for the 1000th time, but the first time. This version is a little more like older, a little more clunky, not clunkier, but like an old tune, like Old Danny Boy or something. And you notice that the words that your mother sang are a little bit different, but not significantly. And as I believe that Oslug and the Might Weavers end their song, and they were sitting at a table, and she leaned forward to all of you and said, "What do you want to know?"
I mean, where did you learn this song? Where did you make this song? I've heard it before when I was a kid all the time.
It's an old song, but sorry, I've lost roll 20. Already roll 20. It's an older song, yes, but these particular lyrics were given to me by an old friend. who I went to Bard College with. Uh, Her name was Nuandrin. Uh, the song in its original Middle English or Middle Common is actually called the Song of the Damned.
And just to clarify, I do know what that name means, right? I forget whether I knew or whether I didn't know.
I don't think you
Okay.
do.
The Song of the Damned, it's beautiful. It reminds me of my mom, and she used to sing it to me all the time when I was a kid, and it's why I carry these instruments with me all the time, you know? That and telling all the stories, you need some good musical accompaniment, of course. The Mythweavers is a really great name for a band, for especially a group such as yourselves.
She nods. Thank you. It sort of kind of came naturally. It sort of found me. I scribed for a long time for various people. But I don't do that anymore. What brings you to me? Is it just the song? You all look like you have something more you want to talk to me about.
Well, for me, it's mainly the song. But yeah, did you guys have anything?
I just say the spoken.
So she's a pretty cool and casual furbolg person with, long hair, sort of like if Stevie Nicks was a furbolg. That's how I think of her. Not, about middle-aged, probably older than many of you, or not many of you, most humans, but looks about middle age. She's about middle of her lifetime, and she sort of has a little bit of just you can't quite put your finger on it, but a wave of emotion crosses her face as soon as you say that. I know them.
Insight check that wave of emotion if I can.
Sure.
Did I put my finger on it?
It looks, you can't quite determine whether it looks like something between nostalgia, sadness, maybe a little pain. I'm a story weaver myself, so I think it's best if I tell you mine. She takes a drink and she takes out a pipe and starts smoking casually.
Brannick is just giddy with excitement.
You probably don't come around creatures like me very often. Furbolgs, if you will, we're forest people. But I was always the rebellious one. And one night when I was a youth, I came across a person, and they brought me to civilization. They brought me to a bar, and I had a great time. I had such a great time that I did the one thing my parents requested I never do, and it's become the property of another. And when I woke up in the morning, I realized I'd broken a vow I made to my parents, and I'd lost my spouse. And she was the most beautiful woman on earth. Or maybe man? To tell you the truth, I don't know. I don't remember it. But as I cried at that bar, begging for the innkeeper to give me one more night, so I could figure out how to crawl back to my parents' tail between my legs. a elven woman at the bar stopped me and said that if I could tell her tales like that to an innkeeper, I deserve to tell the tales of her travels. Uh, she was my best friend, my travel companion, and we saw so many adventures until she didn't return one day when she went home to Mirdad. And we had different companions in the traveling companions in the years that we traveled. But she and I always remained until she didn't return. And that's when I gave up adventuring. Whatever took her, the strongest person I knew, uh, would one day take me, I knew. So I decided to use my song instead for taverns and people like you.
Wow. That's quite a story.
Make a history check.
That's what I'm supposed to be good at.
Hopefully you do.
22.
Oh yeah, that's a good roll. It's when she says Mirdad and you think of the spoken, one person comes to mind, the person you heard about Oslog from. And that is the ghost Enna.
Oh, she was the elf. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one who wrote about the spoken on the walls in the dungeon, so putting two together, a sort of spark comes to Breck's eyes and he goes, Were you friends with Enna? The Duchess of Mirdad?
No, we were best friends. No. Yes. I don't know what happened to her, but
Wait, didn't we meet the ghost Enna?
Yes.
You did? Yeah.
You watched Kuroka like poke and prod at his thigh and it's like pressing the rewind button.
I was about to nudge you and have you do the same thing.
Just like replays Enna's conversation from his mouth.
Also, isn't her sword isn't that the one you're using right now?
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll sort of I'll draw Rosie and I'll draw what's the name of it? Why have I forgotten the name of my sword? Archiram. I'll draw Archiram as he's sort of replaying this conversation that we had with the ghost Enna. And do we have the longbow with us as well that she wanted us to take, or is that gone with Kitty Cat?
Stolen. I think Kitty Cat. Yeah, when Haley got stolen, it got stolen too.
So you draw it.
Yeah, non-aggressively, obviously.
Archiram. And where's her sister?
Regrettably taken with an older companion of ours that disappeared. Whatever happened to her? Was she abducted or?
Yes.
She was abducted. She was taken by some enemies of ours, and we're hoping we'll eventually get her back and the sister as well.
It's a powerful weapon. They're both powerful weapons. Said to be created in Faerun itself. Ever-changing, ever-linked. And the only thing that keeps them together the only thing that truly stays the same about them is their bond. Keep it close. I wouldn't want someone to have both.
Understood. It sings to me sometimes. It's interesting.
The more you speak, you said your name was Brennick?
Brennick, yeah. Brennick Sazdak. Nice to meet you. If I haven't introduced myself
I think you all did. She like kind of gives you a long look. Your face looks familiar. And the way you tell a story reminds me of someone.
I don't think we've met, and my dad certainly doesn't tell stories, that's for sure.
Okay. Uh, it's not safe to speak about the order openly, the spoken. They're said to, I've lost many of my companions who I knew were part of the order. And the more I travel, the fewer I see, and the more violence I see spreading. So take cover and be careful.
I at this point I'll pull out the book and I say we don't have to speak about it, but do you know where any of them are? And I'll open the book to and it's the book that the monk gave us in Orviv, not in Orviv, in Hendra, and it's got all the names of those who he believes are still alive.
She looks through it slowly and kind of I don't know some of these people, and I can confirm many of them have passed or disappeared. But this one, and she writes a name down in the back. The name you heard earlier. Let me copy and paste it. Newandrin. This person lives in Belfall.
Belfall, that's where I'm from. How could I have missed a spoken in the same town as me?
I assume that she would be under very different circumstances now. Maybe hiding. Maybe hiding really well.
We'll have to make time to
Well,
go
we're
back.
heading in that direction.
Yeah, we can always go back to Mirdad and yeah, there's always time to go back to Mirdad and Belfall.
She sort of looks at you one more time and says, "Look closely for her. I think she's hiding in plain sight."
I guess at this point, Bernard will probably roll like insight on it to see what she means. It's more for the character to know.
Yeah.
Baroque is like, oh, it's this lady we're talking.
Yeah, he's pretty oblivious to what she's trying to say. So he's writing down in plain sight. Okay, close to me in plain sight. Probably pretty obvious disguise, but right there. And he's basically taking notes right now, not really reading what she's trying to say.
Yeah. So what else?
I mean, Baroka just mentions the Brethren.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. The Brethren.
The Brethren that we learned about, the old name for Order of Curial.
I'm not
Timeless Night.
from around here. These Brethren of Timeless Night sound like they were up to no good. The Brethren of Timeless Night.
Started making trouble in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what I was said also. She is a bard. I mean, you know, she tells beautiful stories. Like, she got in one little fight and her mom got scared. And that's, I've never heard of them. Do they go by a different name?
Order of Curial.
Yeah,
Huh.
we think they're related.
We know they're related.
I've seen
Brennick elbows in, and he's like very sure of himself.
I've seen a lot of people cropping up as followers of Kiriel. Uh, and to be honest, they just seem very enthusiastic.
Very greedy.
I don't get involved with religion. That's why I'm here. I mean, it's empty here. That's the joke.
It goes over Brennick's and he's just sort of nodding along at this point.
But I can tell you this landscape's changed a lot in the last 20 years. And I don't know much about this order, and I apologize, except that they've been very ambitious, and their followers seem very enthusiastic.
Kuroko looks at her perplexed. He can't say it, but he's like, "Aren't you a bard? Isn't that all you do? Tell stories?" But he
I mean,
giving a look.
what do you want me to do? Ask them who they are? I don't care. They're weirdos. And I don't know much. I know about the order because I traveled with a prominent member, but I don't know about everything. I'm sorry. Also, don't forget she's not from around here. She's a traveling bard, not a resident of what's it called? Orviv.
While we're here, I have you see Brennick's blushing at this point. I know it's a little silly, and we've just talked a lot of serious business, but I wrote part of a song of our adventures and stuff as of late. I don't know if you want to hear it, maybe give some feedback as a fellow bard. I'm not great at
Yes,
songs.
I do. She
Yeah, he kind of needs
snaps
it, I
her
think.
fingers. Sing a couple bars for us. She turns over to them.
All right,
George,
go for it. Yeah.
start. Give him a beat.
And George gives me a beat, and
Yeah.
it's like one of those jazz, like almost a storytelling
Yeah.
kind of talking about. And Brennick sort of clears his throat and he goes, "This is the fall of the White Blight of the Iron Coast. That's what we call it. And a group of adventurers brought together by fate. Not one among them shared a common trait. Found in a land filled with an icy blight. Little did they know they were in for a fight. They first needed to prove their strength. They didn't expect to go to great lengths. But it started with a wight in an ancient tree. Not much of a challenge even for me. Our true opponent then humbled us so, and gave Tavares more than a mortal blow. He fell to a wyvern, fierce and strong, worthy of far more than a line in a song. We killed the beast soon after, took our prize. Not much of a victory, we soon did realize. We earned our employment to friend Nizuri, and set off to Mirdad, a troubled city. She was searching for answers to the broken land. She had the pieces to the puzzle well in hand. Her true name and vision she would reveal. To us, the adventurers, she could not conceal. The reason behind the suffering, the Iron Coast, an icy beast making many man and beast a ghost. Drain the life from the land from its lair, and we were to be its slayer. There's more if you'd like me to go on, but I haven't completed it.
That's amazing. I love this. This is amazing.
And that's just the first part. I'm sort of working on it, storyboarding it.
You should definitely keep working on it. She's like, you're there. You have the gift of story, young one.
Awesome. I just want that approval means so much to me. I've never really had another storytelling bard tell me I'm good at anything. My mom always encouraged me, but nobody else really. And it's really good to just have somebody approve of me. It's really great. Thank you so much. Could you please sign my notebook?
She laughs. Yeah.
Hey, Nudge Croak, I don't think we need to be here for this.
She winks at Birchfruit and signs the notebook. My traveling companions weren't all members of the order, but I'll be in touch if anyone wants to speak with you. There was Glen Barrows, Charster, Manver, and
Brennick, you get this?
I think she's typing in for us.
oh, I'm
Oh,
not.
damn.
and oh shit, I forgot his name. And Tip.
Tip's the skinny half elf.
No, Tip was a dwarf, or is a dwarf, and the meanest son of a bitch you'll ever meet.
And these are your band members.
Those were my. These were our primary companions
Oh,
on the
I
road.
understood. I understood.
I'm reaching out to them. I'll reach out to them on your behalf.
It
From one bard to
would
another.
be really appreciated. Things are going very bad on the Dark Coast. It's really bad, and I think we need the Spoken again, and we need them sooner rather than later, I think.
She looks around, and holds her hand up, kind of like in a cool symbol that I haven't thought of, but I'll do this for now. May the order rise again.
And I'll try and mirror it, and I'll say the same. Obviously being somewhat quiet, because, it's still a taboo subject, but...
May the force be with
Yeah,
you,
pretty
man.
much.
No.
Yeah. And Brennick is still blushing furiously, having sung a song about, his team's exploits and such. And, yeah.
She nods. I have business to take care of. Have a good one.
Oh, I'll sending you every couple of days. Sometimes it's a little funky. If you have any updates,
Oh,
I'll give
okay.
you a little head ring and just let me know what's up. I won't bother you too much because I know that's annoying, but just every couple of days.
You're sending. What did you say about that?
I'll do it every couple of days just to check in if you have any news.
Before that.
It doesn't work all the time.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a thing. I know Eekford it doesn't work at all, or you'll explode. But elsewhere it seems magic is sort of being a little bit more finicky and not reliable also.
Well, I haven't been allowed in Eekford for many years, and not because of the magic. There are a lot of people angry there.
They're pretty uptight.
But the rest of it sounds like something's interacting with. You should get that checked out.
Wait, there's nothing
She
wrong with me? I should
gets
get
up.
myself checked out?
Yeah,
Shit!
it sounds fucked up, man. She stands up.
I got a magic
And,
STD! No!
orders a drink at the bar, looks just like at the person next to her, nods, and they just walk out of the bar together, back towards her room.
I'm gonna roll Arcana to see if that's a thing.
Sure.
That's a thing, yeah. I think that's a thing.
It sounds like weird. It doesn't sound like it's a thing. It sounds like there's a lot of crazy stuff to you. And yeah. What you even talking about?
Magic, man. Who knows? Wow, that was amazing. Are you guys as is it warm in here?
I pictured Bertrand and Kroger just kind of like staring at each other awkwardly.
Did you guys like the song? It was about you two. You guys were both there. So, I still have water from the cave in my flask if you want it. The dream water you looked at, Birchfruit. I don't know if that matters, but...
What?
You remember when we were in the dragon's cave? There was that weird water that you looked into? I still have some.
Wait, you kept the water?
Yeah, it's in this flask.
Could I take that flask from
Sure,
you?
yeah. I didn't know if you ever needed it. It's actually literally in my inventory. I remember taking it.
Yeah, I dip my finger in it and like put it in my mouth. See if like I feel anything.
It's a little salty, a little briny, but somehow still a little bit cold. When you put your dragon little finger in your mouth, it kind of zaps you like you just put your tongue to a 9-volt battery.
Weird. Okay. Do you mind if I hold on to this for you?
Sure, no, yeah, it's fine. I haven't found a use for it yet, and I just, I really didn't want to carry it anymore. Is it still good?
Alright.
Is it musty? I know it was in the cave, and I don't know if it was special or not. I wasn't sure.
I mean, there's something about it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I kept it then.
Cool. I'll put it in my bag. Wait, what did you call it?
Special water in flask. A birch fruit had a dream looking into it. That was the exact description I had. Which I will now remove from my inventory. So, I guess, what do you guys want to do now? Yurik's still at the bar. Should we wait for him?
Did we have other business here? In Orview, other than...
I think it was on the way to the Red Sisters Peaks. We were going to check out the whole ruins of the Red Tower.
Oh yeah.
Where the order fell, maybe get a hint there. And if we need to, we can loop back up to Belfall and see, Mirdad too, maybe Toxkog again to see how it's doing with the frost being removed.
Yeah, I guess we should stay the night and head for Ivido in the morning.
Yeah, sure. I think it'll be on the way to Ivido, hopefully. If maybe we can stop in that dwarven place again and check out the giant hole that was dug there. Who knows? Or is Ivido the giant dwarf nation? I forget.
Vado, you never went there. That was,
Yeah, we haven't been
from what
there.
you heard, the order's
Oh,
headquarters.
Ivido was the red. Okay, the red keep. Gotcha. Sweet.
Yeah, Nam Boldar isn't on there, and you don't really know exactly where it is from.
It's just somewhere
Ivido.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do anything while we're around? Oh, no, we do have business. We do have business. Don't let me forget. I pull out a bunch of papers. Here, Koroka, take a look at these. We need to find if these people are still around so we can ask about how the Brotherhood and the Order of Curiel was back in the day, so we can get a feel for what their deal is.
Let's make a list and then ask if the bartender knows any of the names.
Sure. So I guess I'll spend some downtime here pooling through the list. And we'll find the names, and I guess we'll start. We can just find a name and head off towards it. Does it list addresses there? I know it's like billing addresses, right? Clearly.
It's like sort of not billing addresses. Looking through them, they're like return addresses. Like, please, like if you hear from them, if you hear from my son, I'm at this house, like home.
Mhm.
Like
Send them home. Send
yeah.
them home, please, or let
Please
us
send
know.
him home to blah blah blah. Yeah, and it seems like most of the addresses.
You cut out.
Oh, it seems like most of the addresses are from.
You cut out again on the same
You
word.
cut out again.
Oh, it seems like most of the addresses are from the area.
From the area. Nailed it.
Area.
Okay, we're on board now. So yeah, let's just start ticking these off the list. You guys would grab a meal, a drink here, recover a bit, and then we'll head out.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's definitely nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might need to take a sleep, or you can bother people at like we'll say 11 p.m. on a weekday.
Yeah, we'll get toasted and go to bed. But I do gotta
Alright.
say, Kuroka, you punched those water people really good, really good. I gotta say, I've never seen anybody punch water people better than you punched them. You punched them and they didn't even move for like a minute, maybe like 10 seconds, but you know, like a minute. The same thing. That was wild. Yeah, I agree.
Getting
Getting some anger, and I feel that. I feel that a lot. Honestly, the boat ride was a little cramped, and I definitely feel the need to punch things. I usually do it with magic and words, but yeah, totally feel that shit.
All right. So let's take a short break because I'm out of water already. And I just want to check on it real quick. So we'll be right back, like 5 minutes. Do it. Is everyone back? That's true.
I'm here.
Hello.
I mean,
Hello.
Corner, and you never know if I'm gonna be
What? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Just a second, I just have to send something. What does Jeb want? Okay, I just sent each of you something in your DM, but just so everyone knows. All right, let's get back in. So,
See, go.
all right, yeah. So, would you like to do anything before you sleep?
Sending to various people. I'll attempt to do one to Tizzy, one to Misery, and one to. Oh wait, do I only get 2 now, or do I get 3? Level 6, 3. I will attempt to sending to Tizzy, Misery, and then the third one will be. I'm gonna try and send that blue-skinned guy that gave me the prophecy and see if he answers.
All right. So, go ahead and when you're sending this, you're just sending him normally.
Yeah, nothing special. It's a 25-word message maximum, basically. Just like, hey, what's been up? This is what we've been doing. Let me know what's up with you.
So, yeah, you take out your piece of wire, you whisper in, do your incantation, and you do your whisper, and you don't hear anything back from the blue guy, and you aren't sure if it made the target or.
I don't know him that well, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you hear like some muffling, like nothing new, nothing like. So you're not quite sure. Yeah, like you're not quite sure what's coming from there.
Who is that from? Who is the fuzziness from?
You think it's from your sister, but the sound, you can't quite make out the picture of who's replying, which is weird, but it's been happening.
So basically, I could be even crossing wires to who I'm sending to at this point. So even if I go, I'm sending to Tizzy, I could be sending to somebody different, is what I'm getting the feeling of.
You're not sure.
Okay, cool.
You think, you're kind of like, did I send that to Tizzy or did I send that to Nazari? And now in your head, you're like, did I send it to someone completely different? Like,
basically, it's just some funky stuff going on. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But you do hear from, and then you hear a second female response, just like, "Oh my god, you could have killed me," and you're like, "Okay, that's definitely from
Got
this
that.
area."
It is an Ifrit. Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Wait, you've still been sending messages to
I
Missouri?
forgot where she was again.
Oof. Um. All right. So in the morning, we're gonna look up those addresses.
Okay.
That's what we talked
Yes,
about, right?
Would you like to do anything in your dreams, anyone? Well, really, that question is more for
Pointed
Bird Fruit than
nod
anyone.
towards Birch Fruit.
I guess try to seek out Tally again. If that doesn't work,
Tally, Tizzy, they're all the same.
Yeah.
just try to have a good one.
This night, you say your little prayer. Now you close your eyes and you kind of like meditate on her, and where her maybe like spectral vision, her in the plane of dreams.
I'm gonna take
how
a
she
swig of
looked?
that water. Maybe that helps.
Yeah, and she comes to you crisp and clear, without any sort of issue, and she waves at you from her space.
Hey, I'm just checking in.
Hey, it's
Uh,
still slave, still searching. We're digging a lot lately.
Have you noticed anything weird like the past few nights?
I don't know. I don't know if it's my eyes, but it seems like every night there are fewer stars. And she kind of looks down, and you can kind of see that like her the strength that she's imagined for herself, is even her like spectral form is looking a little weak tonight.
Oh, I was gonna try to tell her what Esme taught me about looking at the stars.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
I
You
don't
do that,
remember.
so it is done. Yeah, no,
like
you
teach her which stars are like the best to identify, the brightest, for navigation.
that's really awesome. No one's ever
The ones
told me
to,
that.
like, if those are missing, then something's wrong, right?
Yeah. I'll look tonight. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just. You see her like blinking. Just not feeling great. It's harder to see you sometimes. We're digging a lot. Seems like they've been making us dig, and I'm keeping an eye out for that dragonborn you told me to look for. I haven't seen her yet, but I'll let you know if I do.
Yeah, we're about to head to Ivido.
Oh. What's that?
Oh, she doesn't know where that is.
Mm-mm. It's not really a common name. That's
Would
heard.
we know it by any other name?
Roll a history check.
I guess, like, what other names for the region have we identified?
You don't. It's sort of like the kind of place that you hear about in stories. You've always been well, I guess you're new here, but like Brannick and Kuroko would always be told it's like a fictional place. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, you don't know much.
Yeah, all I know is like it's an abandoned place in the mountains or something.
Yeah, yeah. You get the feeling that it would be in the mountain, because this map.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a fabled location that not loads of people are supposed to get to, kind of thing. It's almost
Mhm.
like you know how like all the hero headquarters are like on floating helicarriers and shit. It's sort of like that. You put it high up in the mountains, you know.
Or deep. You're not quite sure.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, we're heading west or east from Orviv into the mountains.
How's Orviv? I've heard it's a really cool place to visit.
It's actually kind of deserted right now.
Gross. Weird.
Yeah, I think the Order of Curiel passed by here.
Curiel?
Wait, they know? Doesn't she know about the?
It is a flash of recognition. Curiel.
What was the other name? The Brethren of
Why would someone
the Brethren of Timeless Night?
Ki- Timeless Night? There are people here from there. They said they signed up.
Signed up for what?
To help with the reckoning? They're enthusiastic, some of them. It's creepy. They say they're doing service.
So these people know what's going on there, huh?
Only a few, it seems. The others, they begged to come out. Here. I think the connection's strong enough. Take my hand. She holds out her hands to you.
I take it.
And she closes her eyes, and you feel like energy pulsing through your spectral form. And you are suddenly like, you can't control the body, but you can hear sobbing around her. And just like, why? And she lets go. That's one of their greatest disciples. At least that's what she claims. She doesn't want to be here anymore. And they won't let her go. And they won't let any of us go. And I didn't sign up to be here.
Could you find out more about their history, where we might learn more about them?
Yeah. They're weirdly secretive even here. But I'll try.
Even her? Sounds like she's not into it anymore.
I know. And she's like, she's not into it anymore, but she still won't tell me anything. Like, she's believes still. She's like, I don't know what to think anymore about these people. She told me that if I joined, I'd save us both. And I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, what we're trying to do is convince the rest of this island that the Order of Curiel is bad.
Yeah.
That they're involved in what's happening over there.
Yeah. It's maybe. I mean, obviously they are. And I don't know. Then where did all these devils come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, see what you can find out.
Okay. Good night. Sweet dreams.
Uh,
And you have a very restful sleep other than that horrible thing.
all right.
All right. Yeah. Anyone like to do anything alone in their room before the day begins?
That's a little suggestive.
Oh.
I mean, I think that goes without saying.
Brennick stumbles out of now.
Yep. I don't. What was I working on? Can I? I don't know. I've been reading this book forever, but I feel like we haven't gleaned very much from it with the orb of ink revealing and pervy dwarf man from Mirdad. He was connections with like the underground, right? Was basically what I was gleaning from it, but he was just lots of fucked up stuff and lots of illegal stuff. Is the long and short of it?
It seemed like he was part of bringing like an underring, trying to unseat Persephone.
Oh, so he's full of trying to usurp. Okay.
Yeah. And as you're reading, it seems like it's not just Mirdad. It seems like he has an under circle that he was working with throughout the country.
Okay. Did he end up in prison? He did, right? Because of the dragon head bit? Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure he wasn't still in power. Awesome.
Yeah, he's not out.
Cool. And that's all it's been doing, just reaffirming my knowledge of that with the orb of ink revealing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting like a little bit you kind of get a better idea that this wasn't like he wasn't the mastermind behind it.
One of many cogs in the machine.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And it doesn't even seem like he knows who he was quite working for, but he was not thinking alone.
Cool.
I forgot you had that. I would have updated you further.
That's okay. I knew the plot line sort of died down, but it's there's always you can always drop something on me. By the way, while you were reading the book, this happened, and you found this important thing that links it all together. And I'm just waiting for that drop. I'm like, if I forget another plot link again, if I walk past the bar with the band in it again, I swear to God.
Yeah. I thought that you guys were gonna leave without talking to anyone, and I was like, you guys are trying to investigate this. I'm giving you off. Oh my God, no. Sorry. I was like, don't say anything. Just let him walk out.
Please do the thing. I dropped the plot hook. Please do the plot hook.
Not that I'm trying to railroad anyone, but I'm here. Like,
no, you put the time and you seeded these rumors around, and we've been asking about Kiriel literally everywhere we go.
Like anyone,
hey,
anyone,
you know about
like the bar, and she's like, no, and then you guys are like,
well, why
don't you know anything?
Yeah. I guess it's time to leave town. There's nothing else here.
I love it. It makes me laugh, but I also like didn't want to like make it every time you ask someone. It's like, oh, they don't know. It's like, no. It just like sometimes people don't know things, and sometimes other people know things.
So yeah,
anyway.
That's all I need to do in my room was read that book.
Kuroka?
Item?
Sorry?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Magic item, Birchfruit?
Sorry?
The armor that you were waiting for.
Yeah, he
you
got it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Wondering. There's like a handful of plot hooks that I'm like trying to remember if they happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can read through my old notes for you if you want.
That's why having the notes channel will help, or if you guys want
Yeah, don't just let me be the only person. Please help.
Aren't you by nature the note taker of the group?
Mainly because it's more like by default because nobody else does it.
You wrote that into your character, so it's.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, the Brennick
Yeah, we've
storyteller bit,
established
that
it.
is fair. I'll post what I have written for that song, by the way. But yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
If you guys were wondering, Persephone's husband is Everon, and he's sort of like me in that he's very nerdy. In Arc 2, Session 1, something giant happened 20 years ago and changed the stars, and something horrible is going to happen. There's quotes, but I don't know who said it. So, mystery. I'm gonna guess Esme.
It's probably Esme. Yeah. Oh my god. All right. So what would you guys like to do?
We're heading out. Let's do some investigating. What was the first name on our list that we made last night?
Oh yeah. So let's see. Let me see. So there are 5 names on it. Or no, we'll say 3 because I don't want you to visit every single one of these people. Like when you guys tried to shop at every single store yesterday.
Yeah, basically we're tracking down as many of them as we can.
Did you guys
giving
really go
them
to
the
every
spiel of-
fucking store?
I had to cut Anthony off from shopping.
That's amazing.
All right. Like it was only because like I didn't want it to get too because I knew and I wanted to give the sending stones to Erica.
Wait, those are sending stones that she
so-
has?
They're not sending
The gate
stones, but they're
Gate
like
stones, okay.
gate stones. There we go. Yeah, and they're made out of petrified wood.
Ooh, cool.
She's Pelor. Yeah. Okay. So you see one for a Kimmel Frost Mail. You see a letter from Alotel, Camerth, and Unlunt. Yeah, those are the 4 names that you parse out from the letters.
I'll be honest, I only wrote down Kimmel. So, what else you got for me?
Jesus.
Frosdale. Honestly, saying a name once when I'm not already typing it. Oh, I even spelled it wrong. I'm trying to be a good note boy.
And from the names, you can tell one is, let's see.
Oops.
The first one is probably of some sort of like dwarven descent. The second from they're very like classically like elven descent. And the third is you can't quite place. The fourth.
I mean, is someone named Birchfruit?
Yeah.
I take offense to
I mean, people would know you're a druid-ish. Like, these are sort of like, I don't know.
There are stereotypical names, like traditional dwarven names,
Yeah.
While we're doing names, do you want to give me the list of names you gave me earlier for what's his face? Not what's his face. Oslog was giving us, because I totally missed those. Not the her traveling members. I got like the T name and that's it. Tip, the dwarf. Thank you. All right, sorry about that.
It's okay. I'm just trying to give you guys not clues, but like ideas of who, like, here's some names. Who do you want to go to?
We'll pick whichever one's closest.
Perfect.
Pick a name.
We will
just pick a name.
You find that Unlunt is the closest. It looks like they're about a 20-minute walk. Or
Alright.
not 20. Yeah, we'll say a 5-minute walk from where you're staying.
So while we walk, I'm gonna turn to the group and go. So how do we approach like parents whose children went missing like 20 years ago, saying that we're looking for the Order of Kyriel, and they'll just slam the door in our faces? Like, how does one get past that big hump getting in?
You think they'll slam the door in our faces?
If we say, "Hey, we're looking for the Lost Brotherhood," and they're like, "Oh fuck, they stole my kids," slam the door. Maybe. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe we'll just go and we'll see what happens. You're right. You always
Yeah.
know what's right, Birch Fruit. Same for Kuroka. Brilliant.
Wow, I love how at this point Zach just has conversations with himself.
Just play it cool, man.
Up on the first one, we got like 4 more to go through. We're fine.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Knock on the door.
Good folio.
The door opens to a very tall, very rough, red-skinned person and it looks like nothing any of you have ever seen. He's got long, braided white hair and bright green eyes, and there's something angelic about him.
Cast Stunning Strike.
Okay, no,
I'm pretty
he's an
sure his
Asimov.
face is a stunning strike.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So smooth.
Ooh, he winked. No.
It's happening again.
And this person looks very. This guy looks pretty young.
Cool.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
We're here to ask about a letter you might have sent 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
How many years ago was it? Do we know? Letters have dates on them, right?
Yeah, sorta. Like you. Yeah, like you can ascertain it's about. Yeah. I was.
I definitely made up that number when I said it. So.
Yeah, it's like 15 to 20 years. Like each of all of them are within that time period. You kind of look at the letter again, Birch Fruit. You realize it's a child.
Sorry?
You look at the letter again, and you realize it's sort of written in a child's handwriting.
Oh, and what's it regarding?
It's still regarding the Order of Kiriel.
Yeah, but,
Oh.
why would a child be writing to
Please bring, please, where's my sister?
Oh, okay. You were looking for your sister.
Yeah, I was. When he looks down.
And you think the, what are they called? The Brethren of the Timeless Light might have something to do with it.
I don't know, but I was really young. I'm sorry. He kind of like looks around. She joined them and then went to go do service and never returned. And my parents died looking for her.
What was her name?
Her name was Thalos. Mist Splitter. They were just sick with heartbreak when she never returned our letters, and I'm sorry I destroyed anything of that time. It's a horrible time for us.
Yeah, that's understandable. The thing is, we think the Brethren might have re-emerged as the Order of Kiriel.
And I have to get out of here.
Oh,
Thank
not
you.
here.
I don't care. I don't want anything to do with them. They destroyed my family. I think that it was them. I have to go.
Honestly, from what we've seen, this is probably the safest place. What's the Alan's name? On Everest.
Don't
Right
say that
now.
word.
What?
It's cursed. Don't say that word.
The
You're bringing-
continent's name?
Yes.
Okay, the island.
You're coming here to curse my house. Please, please, let me go.
Oh,
Okay, we're not gonna stop you from leaving, but could you tell us anything else about the Brethren?
I was really young. My sister joined, and she wasn't there for long. And she said she was promoted, and she could be.
wait.
And she was promoted, and she'd be of great service to them. And she went away, and she never came back. Now, please, if you don't mind. He kind of steps back
Alright.
to close the door.
Did any of you have something else you wanted to say?
I think the moment's gone. The door is closed, so I don't necessarily want to bother him anymore. Did we get anything out of that? She was promoted to be of great service, disappeared.
Yeah, we have a name. And it sounded like he wouldn't have been able to tell us much anyway, since he was a child at the time.
That's true. And who was that we just visited again? No, we didn't visit Miss Splitter. We visited
Unlunt.
There we go.
You study the other letters, and they all look like. I'm sorry, I forgot to. I was like written by a child of some sort, but the others seem to be written of people who were, maybe like had firm grip of the English, a common language at that point.
All right. Good luck.
You hear the door bolt, and you hear the sound of feet like scurrying behind. You did learn that someone is very afraid of them. So
Yeah.
Even them not being in the city, the fact that they're even around on the continent, he's like, I'm out. Later.
yeah. All right.
We'll head to Cameron's house.
All right. Like a 10-minute walk, and again, you see it deserted and creepily so. Sort of some buildings look like they have seen better days. And you reach a sort of slum area and a lean-to that looks barely the size of like a studio. It's not a very generously sized little cottage. Knock on the door. And eventually, here, just a minute. And you hear, like, kind of someone slowly walking in a very interesting gait. And the little eye hole on the door opens up, and you see two gray eyes of a reptile.
Hello, you must be Camrith?
Yes. What's your business?
Hi, we were doing some investigating on some older orders here, and we've recently run into some trouble with an order called the Order of Curial, and we found some papers here that referenced you, and the Order of the Lost Brotherhood, was it? Order of the...
The Brethren. The Brethren of the Timeless Night.
Brethren of the Timeless Night, that's what it was. And
yes.
We were just wondering if you could give us any information. We're trying to take them down. They've been nothing but trouble to us, and anything that you can give us might, help us, take care of them, get them out of, this...
Come in.
And I motion to the others to
the
follow.
door opens, and the little shabby house kind of enters, and you see a fire going, and and it's just a one-room building covered in dust and piles of trinkets and little papers. And she kind of says, just a minute, and she clears off like a little a bench for you all to sit, and she gestures. It's a little cramped, and it's really cramped, and it's really uncomfortable with the amount of stuff piled up everywhere.
I'm Brennick.
Yes.
This is Kuroka and Birchfruit.
Camerth, nice to meet you.
Just nod. Pleasure.
Likewise.
Be careful what you say around there. It's my parents. They got really involved, and they gave their life savings to the Brethren of the Timeless Night. They told me that they believed that they would put an end to life, or not life, but to death, and we would live forever in a beautiful period of timelessness. And I thought it was pretty dumb. I wasn't very old when they joined up, but they joined up for many years, and eventually they told me that unless I became a part of the Brethren, they would not be able to communicate with me anymore. Every once in a while, I would still receive a letter, but I haven't received one in many, many years. So, in about, oh, we can't hear you, Ben. Sorry.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Sorry, I just repeated what you said. I don't know. So, they were. Now we can. They were part of the order for about 5 months, and then they gave up their life savings. And then about 2 years in, they told me I could no longer be a part of the family if I didn't believe them, and I didn't believe them. It sounded like a load of shit. Pardon my language. And well, they would still send me. They would still check up on me. They'd send me little gifts when I think they were able to, but they stopped. So I wrote to them because I think that even though my parents were nutcases, they still loved me. Sorry.
You've been killing it with the accents as of late. Yesterday's death accent was real
Thank
good.
you.
I loved it.
I've been practicing. I have no job. But I figure this is how a lizard talks.
Yes, so it's very
Yes.
good. It's very good.
So, but they were sent away from Orviv, and I don't know what exactly happened after that.
All right.
Uh,
Lots of people go missing, apparently. That's what we're getting, anyway.
well, that many shouldn't go missing, if you ask me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I think that if you have a religion, 0 people should go missing.
Yeah, generally speaking, religion's about a community, and this seems a lot more like something else.
Something else is right. I don't have a sense of smell, but if I did, I would say it smelled fishy.
Yeah, that's to say the least. When the first encounter I had with them is them trying to steal money from me, it didn't leave a good impression.
I wish money was the only thing they stole from me.
Ooh, wow, that is very sad. Yes, that is fair.
Ah.
We'll keep. What are their names? We'll keep an ear open for them if we run across them.
They've been missing over 20 years.
Oh wow.
and-
Okay. Yep.
But if you find them, their names were Gerald and Donut.
Gerald and Donut, your
Yeah, real
parents
far
will
cry from
be.
Cameron.
Yes, we will find Gerald and Donut for you. If we can.
She gave herself that name when she was very young.
It's yes, yeah, that sounds about right.
It was, but she was sweet like a donut, and I miss her.
All right. Is there anything else you can think that'd be helpful? Anybody else you knew that went missing, or like friends of who also had similar situations?
A lot of people left when and some of the people have died who are missing their members, but something about them never sat right with me, and it seems that everyone who misses their family is pretty adamant that they be brought down.
Alrighty, thank you very much for your time.
Wait,
Yes.
one last question. Have they had a presence here recently?
No. Orviv is an open place for worshipping whoever you believe in, both good and evil. The holy shrine to just the basic worship of gods. I have lived here for most of my life, but I've watched Orviv go from a place where people could freely speak to just a place where no one had an opinion of their own. I don't know exactly if they've left the area, but I'd be surprised if they were still here. Seems that they were hungry for money and they were hungry for bodies. We have neither here.
Yeah. On that note, I think it'd be a good idea to stay here.
Please, not in my home. There's not a lot of space here.
Oh, not us. We mean you.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry. I
Now
lost
that
my
you
train of
mention
thought.
it, your house is very nice, though.
You see, like a genuine, softness. Thank you. No one's ever said that. I decorated it myself. I forgot. I kind of lost my train of thought. They definitely. This was a place of openness and talking. Even if you had a god who hated yours, you were still supposed to speak with honor. And in a place like this, even that order or that those brethren weren't welcome. So that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it certainly paints a picture. Alright. Did we get what we need?
I think that's all we're going to get. I feel like we're not going to ever get what we need, just steps toward that.
I'll tell you that we have a support group, or we did for a while. It kind of disbanded when we all got too depressed. But Alotel has an interesting story. She was actually raised to the church and defected.
Have you been talking to someone named Online?
Who? Unlun?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Alright.
He was beautiful.
If you could tell him... Yeah, he's
He
real
was
pretty.
beautiful. Where does he live now?
If you could tell him what you told us and convince him to stay here in Orviv.
I don't think anywhere is safe at this point, but I appreciate it. If he thinks he should go, then he should go.
That's fair. Thank you.
We don't have enough people to protect us here. Just speaking of beautiful view, I was in an unemployment thing, like a seminar, and there was there were several crazy people there, including myself, of course. But there was one woman who asked the instructor for his phone number, his personal phone number, during the thing.
Wild.
Anyway,
Wonky and wild.
it was. That just reminded me. It was amazing. I was like, wow. Anyway, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Back in the game.
Let's. Kuroka, you want the next one? I know you're very good at talking.
Yeah, it's partially I'm not great at talking, and partially my is being a piece of shit right now.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I think when you move to your new house, special.
Yeah, a house.
Like a new. Yeah, housewarming
I will
gift.
Venmo you, please.
Yeah, please. We want you to be able to talk, Ben. And play.
Yeah. I guess we'll hit up. I want to do it Kimmel first because Alatel had the big drop. I wanna build up to that. Kimmel Frost.
All right. Yeah, you make it to this place happens to be closer to where you came into port. It's beautiful. It is on like a tall tower, looking over the lake, I guess is what you would call it. And it's eerily empty. Oh,
Sorry.
I thought you were just doing the tail. I was like, okay. And you hear a knock back.
Oh, I've done a secret symbol. Excellent. Does the door open, or do I have to push it open?
You tried to push it open and it's still locked.
Hello.
Can I break?
Oh God.
Sorry, Kurok.
Can I break it open?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a strength check.
Why are we breaking this person's door open?
Does anyone have a crowbar?
I don't have a crowbar. No. Let me check my bard pack for a crowbar for you, Kuroka. Kuroka! We're supposed to be helping. Oh, he just whacks the door.
You watch as Kuroka like slams his little body into it and just like bounces off. And yeah.
My mage hand could have done better than that, Kuroka. I've seen you punch people into next week. All right, no, don't do it here though. Stop. No, we're supposed to be friendly.
I do stunning strike on the door.
You do get multi-attack, right?
Yeah. Roll
He gets 3
roll
attacks
a
per turn. Attack, extra attack, offhand attack. Oh god. Flurry of blows for 4.
attack.
That door's dead.
Is
Yeah.
the door locked even?
Yeah, I tried it. I tried the door. It is locked.
Yeah.
There is somebody on the other side.
You just
though.
heard a knock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard a knock back.
Okay, how about, are we talking to Kimmel Frostmail?
Who is it? Who are you? What do you want? How'd you get my name?
We are just a couple people that are very much against an old association of yours. And I sort of like.
I guess I'll take
And hold
the
us-
letter and slip it under
Yeah,
the
there you
door.
go.
You hear a series of locks unlock. 2 and then 3, and then 1 locks, and then blasted thing, and the door swings open, and you see a dwarven woman who looks like she's sailed a little bit, rough around the edges, but has a very long, straight red hair that is intricately plaited, and she has on a very like a slightly revealing sorry, I don't know why I'm doing this, slightly revealing like a dress on, and she opens the door. Get in here, get in.
We rush in very quickly.
Alright.
Hurry up. she pushes the last of you and she locks the door, and she grabs a robe and puts it on her, crosses her hands, crosses her arms over her chest. Did you tell anyone you came here?
Only others
No.
of the support group, but they don't know your name unless.
No, they don't know we were coming here. They know that we might be going to Alatel.
Hey, here, come, sit down. I just a little paranoid and was expecting someone else. Sit down, sit down. And it's a very nice apartment, with, apartment, like, home, with, plush, sofas and, a nice, table made of wood, all like dwarven. So it's kind of got that gothic feel. And she brings over some cookies and puts them in the middle of the table. How can I help you?
Well, mainly it's about that letter.
That letter. My daughter. From my third husband. But my only child. My only love, I guess. I've had a lot of love come and go. Proceeds to go on for a while about the people who've come and left her life, and then she finally gets to the point of her daughter.
Take notes.
You find out she's had at least 6 husbands, and many people in between and some overlapping, and she seems to fall in and out of love pretty easily, but she always blames something else except for her, like, basically just hitting, like, fucking every dude.
Cool.
But she's fine. Consenting adults.
No shame.
And she, yeah. And she sort of smooths her hair as she talks, and says, my daughter, though, she was my only child, and I'm sorry, it's really hard for me to talk about it. I brought her here for a better life. We were here for about 5 years, and she was about 15 when she met this wonderful boy who told her that he knew the secret to living forever. Though I knew it was too good to be true, and it sounded like a little bit of,
Poppycock.
hocus. Yeah, poppycock is. I like that word more. I was very sad when she stopped coming by my house, but I'd see her on the street, and then one day she told me she was moving to Elysia. And then I wrote her, and she wrote once back, and she walks over to her desk, and to a nearby desk, and she pulls out a stack of letters and puts it on the coffee table, and you see it's all returned to sender, and it's a stack about 6 inches tall. And then she turns back to the desk, and she pulls out another and puts it on the table.
How long ago was this?
About 15 years. She walks back, and one more.
And she said she was moving to Elysia?
I got a letter from. She points to the wall. It's framed in this very beautiful gold ornate frame, and you can see it has very. I couldn't bear to part with it. It's all I have left of her. And she kind of puts her hand up on it. I know she'll come back, though. I know I could have put up more of a fuss. I could have looked for her a little bit longer, but I'm not. I don't trust them, and I was with my 5th husband by that time, and we were very much in love, and I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want him to be a widower. They came to my house and told me that if I ever tried to find my daughter again, give me a reason, a real reason to cry, and that
Wait,
I was
who did someone who threatened you?
the brethren. They were dressed in these white robes with red cords around the color of blood, and they said that the longer I maintain her contact with, the longer I maintain. Yeah, I can hear you
Yes.
now. The longer we maintain an earthly connection, the longer I prevent her from reaching her ultimate spiritual goal. And I love my daughter, and if that's what she wanted, then I had to give it to her. But if you get a forwarding address to her, just a forwarding address, I would appreciate it. She doesn't have to write back. I just want to tell her I love her one last time.
If we find her,
If we're ever by Elysia, we could take one of those letters for you.
or the stack.
And she runs over to the stacks of letters.
Or the stack, actually, yeah.
Here, let me just write one real quick. And she scribbles something on a piece of paper, and folds it up, holds it close, gives it a kiss, and hands it to you. Her name was. Oh, sorry.
What's your daughter's name?
Her name was. Let me find it because I could just keep finding these horrible names. Her name is Bryn. Bryn Stormcoat.
And she's likely deep within the Order of Curiel, but we can probably find her. They're pretty popular in Elysia now. At least they were when we were there.
She didn't join the Order of Curiel. I don't know that name.
The new, it's sort of a resurgence. The Brethren of the Timeless Night don't really exist anymore, as you can tell, given their presence here. We've seen very similar symbols from a new order called the Order of Curiel, and it's been popping up all over the place. Elysia, everywhere.
Curiel. It sounds. It sounds. It's a weird word.
Yeah, a lot of people have been telling us that it sounds familiar somehow.
What languages do the three of you speak?
Oh boy.
N and
Do I not have my
Orin.
languages written down?
What, Kuroka? Something in what? Common and.
Because I'm using a new microphone that I forgot I had, and I can't tell because I'm like talking, but I can't tell if I'm getting through.
I can hear you now. Yeah. You sound good, and I'm not echoing.
Cool. Yeah, no, common and Orin, it's like bird language.
Oh,
But I
okay.
can't-
All right.
I know it, but I can't speak it because I can't speak.
Yeah, so Orin also is, I think, one of the... Is that one of the elemental languages, too? I forget.
Probably. I don't know. I'll look it up real quick.
I know Common, Elvish, Dwarven, and Gnomish.
Okay. I think, I don't know, it must be. Thank you.
The elemental
You-
plane of air.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, we'll do what we can, and we'll take the parcel to her if we find her.
You've given someone hope who hasn't had it for a long time. And I've been in love many times, but you only get one child. Or I did.
Roka's kind of done with this. He's packing biscuits in his bag as he's just like getting up and leaving.
Wait, are there biscuits?
Yeah, she put down a cookie for everyone. Kuroka's like, fuck this shit. As you're leaving, she looks at all of you and says, I'm watching all of you.
In an ominous fashion, or is this a dwarven tradition?
Roll an insight check. Oh, I hope it's a dwarf. Tradition. Ooh, nice. There's something a little off about her, but it doesn't seem to be a threat. Like, it's not really, yeah, Kuroka, you're like really done with her now.
I'm all about these biscuits, but she started talking about love again, so I'm out here.
Yeah. But Burnick and Birchfruit, you get this like something's weird about this lady, but not like it doesn't scare
Not
you
threatening.
when she says
Ben, you're echoing again, unfortunately, a little bit.
Hold on.
We are holding on. So yeah.
And see if that helps.
Check, check.
Let's see.
You say it's your phone, right?
I moved back to the computer. Give me a second. Try again.
Oh,
Check, check.
hello.
Hello, it's me and you. A little
we get
bit.
like the tail end of the echo.
That's okay for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, Ben, one of these days.
Okay, so we nod in thanks, sort of eyebrows furrowed in confusion, and we head on out.
All right. Off to where?
I think we're good here, guys, right? We have nothing else
Hey.
to do.
There was that one last lady, right, that said that she was part of the cult?
Alatel, yeah.
Oh, you're making a joke. I
Yeah,
didn't.
sorry. It was too deadpan. It was too deadpan. We head to Alatel's house. The build up.
Yeah. She's not home, no.
But just to be clear,
you-
we're not going to ask what her name is.
We already know.
yeah, don't introduce. Come on in and go. Tell us about your traumatizing childhood.
We're the good guys. You gotta tell us, and then you'll tell us. Then we'll leave, and you'll never know what our names are.
Yeah.
Look, I will
you
introduce
hear-
myself into literally every person if we want. I will do it.
Good. You should. Maybe you'll get NPC names instead of just find that dead guy's wife. Don't know her name. Don't know what she looked like.
Yeah. I guess we'll
I
never
should have
deal
had
with
this
it.
armor engraved.
Yeah.
Oh. my name
Yeah, my
is
name
Birch
is,
Fruit. What's yours? If you don't tell me, you're responsible for. Yeah. So you I mean, to wait a little bit. She is not home, just for the sake of making it feel like real life. And eventually, you see a two figures with cloaks up over their heads, opening a door and walking in, closing
Spine
it
devils.
behind them.
Is it the same door that we went up to?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like a modest home.
All right, let's
We go knock
knock.
again.
I knock.
And a woman answers with jet black hair. I'm dead serious when I put this in an NPC generator. It's a meaty build.
Hell yeah. Hey,
Hell
I'm into
yeah.
it.
And like a simple but embroidered well robe. May I help you?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Brennick, and this is Birchfoot and Kuroka, my friends. We were looking around, trying to gather some information on some people we're sort of opposed to. A while ago, they were here. A particular.
Wait, hold on. Before we say anything else, are the robes they're wearing in the style of the
I was
Order
gonna
of
say, are
Cariel?
they the white with the blood red?
They're not. They're just simple. Like they're this person happens to be wearing like a light blue with a little bit of like a navy like embroidery.
They were being
on the
sketchy,
edge.
but they weren't Order of Curiel sketchy. Got it.
There's nothing religious about these robes. It's just like, you know, trying to.
They're just
Yeah,
jackets.
basically, with hoods
Yeah,
that they don't want to
yeah.
be seen in. And yeah,
Yeah.
we
Oh yeah.
we
Yeah.
found some information that we were hoping you could help us with, and sort of get to know these people better, and maybe potentially help us out, find missing people and such. I don't know how much I can say more out here. Do you mind if we come in?
They look at you really, really confused.
Okay. In that case, do you know anything about the Brethren of Timeless Night?
Is either of you Alatel
Oh,
Retinue?
I'm Kraylar, and you're looking for my partner. Here, come on in. Come on. We just talked about introducing ourselves.
I did introduce
Sorry,
myself.
I don't know.
I did.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
said my name was
Well, no, but
Brennick.
you didn't ask anyway. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
but I think it would have been more pertinent to figure out who they are first.
Sure.
Yeah.
If they want to tell me.
That was-
Okay, so when somebody comes to your door, do you go, hi, my name is Zach. Who are you? No, you when somebody comes to your door, you introduce yourself first, and then they introduce themselves.
Yeah. And then no, you go, hey, I'm Christine. Is blah 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 home.
I
When you
guess.
call
Or-
someone.
I guess.
Yeah, or like, hey, is blah blah. You don't just go up to your friend's mom and say, yeah, I really like Michelle.
Okay, sure. I don't introduce myself to people all that often.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not like I'm trying to be an asshole. I don't know, or maybe well, I don't know. I thought it was anyway. So anyway, I'm Kraylar. Let me get my partner. She invites you in. It's like a comfortable home. There's a fire going now, and it looks like they just sat down from running errands. You see, like, I don't know, fantasy Whole Foods bags in the corner.
Nice. Healthy eating.
You don't use
Kuroka
canvas
takes some of
bags.
the biscuits out of his bag and he puts them out for the guests. He sits down and he looks at the others and he's like real proud of himself.
God damn it.
Roll a charisma, Earl. It's amazing.
I'm gonna eat that charisma roll along with the biscuits too.
Yeah, for Kuroka.
Hey, it's there. It happened.
It's not offensive when you do it. They
They're
don't
all
look.
like really crunched and crumpled up.
They like kind of look at. They both look at you and smile. And are you the? You don't have to help us here. We don't believe in Kuroko's. Or sorry, we don't believe in Kenku inherently being servants. If you don't mind, it makes us uncomfortable when we're being served like that. They're looking at you too, kind of like.
Oh, see, Kuroka, see what happens. You do something nice, and now people think we're using you as our servant. He's...
Oh, you're free.
Broken nods confused, and then he throws the biscuits on the floor.
Yeah, he just wanted to like share some cookies with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. We didn't know. Sometimes the people in this neck of our woods take advantage of no one living here, and they have Kenku, which we don't agree with as their servants, unpaid. So I apologize. I do.
Understandable, but yeah.
Because I'm paid.
Like, wait, maybe I am
doing
this
this.
thing. Hang on, I'm unpaid. I do labor, often punching labor.
But you're all unpaid. That's the
That's
key. Yeah. They no. They were just I don't know. I was trying to give them character.
No, that
Come
was
on.
good. It was good.
Yeah, their character was too woke.
Yeah.
Too woke. I'm trying to give you guys a layout, kind of scene in this world.
My mind,
okay.
this beautiful. It's a beautiful mind scene. Word painting.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. They're both elves. Alotel is bald, with green eyes, and she puts on very ornate glasses as you speak. She's not a beef. She doesn't have a beefy build as she's has a very beautiful face. It's the most striking about her. She's
Sorry, I bumble all over myself all the time, but I'll just put it on the table real quick. We're investigating the Brethren of the Timeless Night. We found an old missive of yours in their broken down temple or whatever, and we're just trying to gather information in order to prove their wrongdoings and sort of reveal to them the world that these people are bad. They've recently resurged as the Order of Kiriel around this continent.
Kiriel. They both start laughing. One of those like not haha funny laughs, but a sad, like, when something is both funny and sad. Kiriel? That's what they're calling themselves?
Yeah, it looks like it.
What is that?
It means
mean?
trust in Sylvan. The Order of Trust. Rebranding. So I guess you somehow heard that I was raised as a member of the Brethren of the Timeless Night. I was a part of their program for young people, and I spent a lot of time studying their text. I was separated from my parents at a very young age. They thought it was best for me. And I spent 15 years from when I was 5 years old to about 20. They taught me that we were chosen, and we could be chosen, we could bring others, and we could help others. That was the most important thing. And then if we everything we did was for the next and the next life would be endless. They sent me to this when I was 10. They sent me to this, they called it a summer camp. And we learned magics, summoning spells mostly, for hours and hours and hours when we weren't moving rocks, felling trees, and building homes for people to live in.
Where was this?
I was blindfolded, but it must have been at least a week's journey from here. It was warm the whole time. I try not to think too much about it. I was at that camp for 5 years. I
Quite the summer.
heard from my parents. Quite the summer, spring, and fall. I'd come home for 3 months back to Orviv, and we would beg on the streets, requesting people to come to our church. And people did. Until they started going missing. And eventually I escaped when they were kicked out of this place. I was able to hide and live off of trash for 2 years. And they stopped looking for me after a while. And my parents, they didn't look for me at all. But as you can tell from my letter, I've been my younger sister. I don't think she was as lucky as me.
What was her name? Maybe we'll find her eventually.
Her name was Ella Reese. It wasn't Donut.
But Donut for short.
They used to call her Donut.
But they all called her Donut Hole.
Yeah, the middle. Munchkin.
Munchkin.
Now we're all on the same page. And she ended up staying with them?
I think she just didn't end up escaping. She kind of looks down, and her partner puts her hand on Alotel's, and she kind of looks down. Or she's just continuing to look down. Do you need any more information?
I mean, as much as you can give us that would help us take them down, prove that they're, bad. I mean, all this anecdotal evidence is awesome, but is there anything hard that we can show people? I mean, we have the letters and such. Is there anything else?
My dear, what
Sorry,
is the word?
just a clarifier.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Red Sisters Peaks, where we're assuming is the central hub is called.
No, it's the Red Sisters Peaks where we're going is the ruin of the old Spoken headquarters, basically. The Red Tower, I believe it's called, or the Red Keep.
Alright, and she doesn't remember where her summer camp situation was.
A week and it was hot. A week away and it was hot.
That hint, I'm just going to tell you that hint was to say it wasn't She didn't take the frost barons to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a desert.
Yeah, desert. I mean, I'm sure the northwestern coast is pretty hot, warm.
There was an ocean, of course, but that's not hard. We're on an island.
Yep.
I don't know who you would report them, to be honest. What authority is left here?
Well, we're
And
working on that.
Not in Orviv, but they're kind of making a name for themselves in Elysia, and we tried to stop it, but we weren't very successful.
Well, I mean, we're trying to get the Spoken back together to sort of get some sort of order brought here. The land is falling apart as it is, and we need.
have you found this order of trust anywhere else?
Elysia. There's some in Mirdad.
They're kind of everywhere we've been other than Orviv.
Yeah.
Then don't smash them, because the pieces grow new seeds, poison their earth. She gets up and she pulls it says 1 minute, and she disappears for a good 5 to 10 minutes, and partner is like eating the cookies kindly, like
He's like sort of almost
and
guilty,
she's
like he doesn't really want them, but he has
Yeah.
to eat them at this point.
yeah. Well, like they're kind of like
Crumbled up because like
I
they're
can't
in my
help
pocket.
you.
They're from my pocket, so it's not like they live in a bag. They're like pulling cookies out of my pocket.
But it's not like there's bags in in the, I don't know, sort of medieval times. It is weird though. It's weird. But they're trying to after it seems like forever, Alotel returns with a stack of letters. This is a little different though. They're more like the letters you found in the first church for the Order of Curiel. They're on all sorts of parchment. They're all different sizes, and she gives you them.
I pull up my Trapper Keeper.
These are the stories of the people who are missing. Family members or partners or husbands or wives or children. And she closes her eyes and then looks up. I had a baby while I was in there. And they took the baby as well. When I left, the baby left with them. They're monsters. And she hands you the letters, Kuroka. For fun, I'm gonna call you. And and these are the stories of some people. Leave the names out if you can, but spread them like fire.
You got a name of any of your higher ups that you really want us to go after?
They were tricky, like water. The names slip past you and new ones form. I would like to see anyone who has any authority of them smash. Burn them to the ground.
So the earth with poison and burn what's left. Got it. To clarify, these notes, are they people who went missing and they became solid members of the crew, or is it just more missives of people are missing over and over and over and over?
They're a mix of some people who talk about like what happened to their family members, and some, as you're reading through, are survivors and who had similar experiences or escaped from a camp.
Cool. So a big list of testimonials, basically. Awesome.
Hmm. Yeah, there's about, we'll say there are about 30 altogether. And she kind of looks at you and says, just please be careful. Please don't let this fall on me. I've already lost one life. I don't want to lose the rest of it.
If they won't hear names from our lips, that's for sure.
Yeah, you don't even know when.
I will forget within moments of us leaving this place. You fear not.
The group forgets.
Yeah, we agree, so we forget. You needn't fear. Nothing can scare me more than what we saw on the Dark Coast. So it's this order is not quite as scary.
I mean, if they have something to do with it,
Well, you know,
they might
yeah.
be pretty scary.
Actually, now that you mention it, blood red robes, blood coins, you know, I should watch before I speak. Thank you for your help, Alatel and partner, whose name I didn't get a chance to write down. Starts with a K, though. We really appreciate your time, and we'll sow the poison that you've given us to someone, to somewhere.
She nods to each of you. Thank you. And
How many letters?
30.
30.
30.
Thank you.
Someone pays attention. Sometimes. It's me. Only
Yes.
partially.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Let us get out of here. Then we'll get out of your hair. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Zach, that's what you missed. Now that I remember. But yesterday they were discussing something at a blacksmith shop, and they were talking in front of the blacksmith, and they kept having him pull things down and then like put them back up. They asked the blacksmith finally was like, "Get the fuck out!"
Nice. They're doing the full like. So what are we doing next? What's our deal? And they're just blabbing everything.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
classic us. It's a very classic us move.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry. That's really funny. All right.
All right. Now that we have that, I think we've officially checked everything off our checklist. Kuroka, you have anything to do here? Birchfruit, Yurik, and Yurik's been probably at the bar.
Yeah, he's drinking still. He's very
I don't want
drunk.
to deal with your stupid paperwork.
Actually, you when you haven't seen Yurik in a day or two. He left notice with the innkeeper. Gotta handle something. Be back.
Cool. We will see him.
Go ahead, Kuroka.
Okay, if Brennick has the paper, Kuroka's a pretty good forgery, so he could probably easily copy those 30.
Wait, why
Yeah.
would you do
So we
that?
can spend some downtime, so we can distribute them, so we have proof. So, like, if we go to
I would say-
Dad, we should give them to Persephone there, and she can have them for her own records or whatever.
I would say if you like
I think the evidence itself should be what we use. Like, we shouldn't forge it, because then it's a forgery. And
Well, we have both. We can show the original.
Forging is just a way of copying it, right? Making a copy.
He's being a copy machine, or a printing press.
Tape recorder and a copy
Oh my
machine.
god, this is beautiful.
yeah, I'm saying if we needed it as evidence, then it might not be a good idea to, have fake versions of it.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, having copies to drop off with Persephone to poke through and sort of see is is one thing.
Oh, that's fair.
And then we can drop more off in Elysia if we head back there. Not that I feel like we'll ever go back there and not have the Order of Curiel have literally taken over the city, but, you know.
Kuroka's thoughts and what that lady was trying to tell us. That lady, Alucard or whatever her name was.
Kimmel? The one who was saying we'll watch you?
No, the
Alatel?
lady who gave us the other
Oh, yeah.
Alatel. The goal is to literally go to a place of the Order of Curiel, stand in front, and start handing people these
Yeah.
stories.
I think that's part 2 of that one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
I was thinking we leave them in like the mailboxes of Elysian officials. The
We
higher
go
ups.
murder all the people in Order of Curiel.
I think we should smash it with our strength, guys, and make sure that the seeds spread elsewhere once they reform. No, I think we all have pretty good plans, but in order to do all of these plans, we need to have copies, and I think we can make copies. So, I think
You
all of
could
these.
copy in an hour. I think you could copy 2.
Damn, these are lengthy testimonials.
I mean, it's just like I'm thinking how long it takes. To copy it, you know, they're like pretty long.
Yeah,
some
you're
of them are
writing
long,
a
some are
letter
short.
and you're
Trying to make it
Also,
look
do you
like
have enough paper for this, Brennick?
I mean, I can spend a couple gold and get another bag, maybe. My 5-ring bind, my 3-ring binder is running out of space, but I could get another, a specific holder for them. That's not too much to ask, I think.
For paper, Christine.
How much for paper?
Well,
what a
paper-
great
it's more for
question.
ink, I feel like paper is probably doable, but the ink, whew.
Let me see.
What's the tax on ink? Like, is it a cartridge situation?
Well, you know what? The parchment, pretty cheap, but the refills are really
exactly, yeah.
expensive.
Books in D&D are
parchment.
actually
Tell me
25
about the
gold,
legislation
but-
that the local city hall
gosh.
passed.
So it would cost you 3 gold for 30 sheets of paper. It's 1 silver a piece.
Oh, it's pretty expensive.
And for ink, it's 10 gold pieces for an ounce.
God damn.
Yeah. But that I would say that an ounce would probably take you through most of the letters.
So I'll just drop. How about I just drop 5 gold and that'll be fine, I think.
No. You're the poor one. I'll drop 5 gold.
Okay, I am poor. You're the poor one, I say, jangling my 300 diamonds, 300 gold piece of diamonds on my hip. Those are for special usage, though.
Cool. I got you the paper and ink to make these
I have
copies.
it now, and we can work on it together and at least make some copies while we're doing our downtime, taking naps and such.
All right. And so you return back to the inn, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. And ready to... Do you need any other supplies hot off the press?
No, I don't. We don't. Our animals aren't here. Our animals are across the Arching River somewhere, back in Toxkog or whatever, or back in Mirdad or something.
There was like a town in
Yeah.
there, and yeah, across the river where
Ferry or
you left
something.
your horses. Yeah.
So I don't think we need more horses. I think we can. You guys are okay with walking on our own 2 feet? Cool.
Oh right, we took the ferry here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's walk.
I think if we're going to the mountains, horses might even be too much. I don't know. I don't want to have to climb at all, but horses might have a hard time getting places. So let's, or in caves maybe? Ooh, it could be underground. I've heard a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories about the Red Keep. They don't exactly tell you where it is, and there's some that say it's on the top of a mountain, some that's in the deep burrows of the Underdark. We'll find out, I guess, right, guys? We'll have to, Avedo, and we'll find out.
Can I turn into anything that could probably carry people? Oh, I can turn into a warhorse.
You could carry one person.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We agree, so we do it. I think we should sleep here, stock up on anything that we need. Do we need to pay for rations or anything like that, or are we hand waving that stuff? Winter coats if we're going back to the friggin' Frost Barons.
We still have winter coats.
Yeah, from the half
Those
elves,
coats.
right? Or no, the halflings. Halflings.
Yeah, you stole some clothes from half.
They rewarded us for rescuing them, did we not?
Yeah, they
Okay.
did. They gave you money. Or they
Yeah,
gave
they
them
gave
to
us
you.
that and a sachet of good ass tea.
Yeah.
How many healing potions do you all have? I don't are you guys all set on those? I have 3 on me right now.
I have 4. I think there was a time when I was making them, but I fell off that.
I got 2, but I kind of never died, so it's fine.
It's more for if I die, I want you to be able to pop it in my mouth.
Do you want someone to pop it in your
When
mouth?
I'm unconscious, I really just want you to pop it right in my mouth. Really lean into
Cancelled.
it. Yeah, really lean into that one. Alright.
All right. All right. Okay, so you go to sleep, and as you drift off, each of you cozy in your beds, you wake up the next morning, and the town is thunder. And as you walk downstairs and approach the barkeep, he says, if you, it looks like you're meant to leave and you better do it soon. There was a killing last night
Who was it?
of a little lizard lady in the slums.
Oh,
Everybody.
dang it, she was my favorite.
And I just shoot you guys a sharp look before we say anything out of place.
And missing a few others. A dwarf, 2 elves, and an Aasimar. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they're real tall and pretty.
Yeah, I heard he was beautiful. And I think you better get going.
I think that's wise. Let's get out of here, guys. I don't want to be caught up in this murder spree.
Have a safe trip.
Yeah, keep yourself safe.
All right. And as you leave, Yurik, promising to catch up soon. You leave on foot, and in all of your ears, you hear the sound of chains. That's where we'll end it for
Oh,
tonight.
motherfuck. Every time. Everything we talk to dies. Ugh. I'm so upset.
All right.
All the investment you put into those NPCs just to kill them off?
We should just never go to town.
Only one of them is supposedly dead.
Yes, found dead.
Found.
What are we gonna tell Donut and
We'll see.
Gerald?
Were used to make a wall.
Yeah, their body. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say she's dead. I'm going to say that she was found. She'd barely survived an attack. Yeah. Because I don't want her to be dead.
Perfect.
She was
Attempted
amazing.
murder. There was an attempted murder last night and people have gone
Attempted
missing.
murder.
Gotcha.
Wait,
Yeah.
is she not dead?
Just looks like she was attacked in her. But the 4 of them are the five people are missing.
So Kirith is still alive but missing, essentially, is what we're getting.
Yes.
There was a bloody struggle and her body was not there. Okay,
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And as you walk behind you, you hear the sound of chains. So, yeah, that's where we're ending it for tonight.
I'm so mad. So mad.
Wondering what's up. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Christine, that was fun.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Just do it.
Do it?
Fucking
What?
Kill these things. Do we just go fight the chain guys? Ugh.
You just wanted like you're like, we'll just die. It's fine at this point. Fuck them.
We're 2 levels up from where we were last time we saw him.
Yeah, we really punched that devil man good. God.
Okay, I have work.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's, yeah,
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Good
night,
night.
everybody.
Good
All
night,
right.
everyone.
See
Night.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.